Okay, so if you were redoing your essay on Masque of the Red Death, these are the most common mistakes that I saw when I was grading the papers. Now, a lot of these examples come from other students' papers, so keep in mind that the examples may have a few mistakes in them, but I'm using them for a reason. The number one thing I saw when I was grading them is that people were summarizing the story in the entire essay. You don't do that. The only time that you want a summary is in the introduction. And you don't want a long introduction. Your introduction is short. You're just basically telling me, hey, this is what this story is about, so that you have some background information, and then I'm writing an essay over it. You should not have more than 2 to 3 sentences in your introduction that are summary. That's it. Okay, I had quite a few students who had a really long introduction. You should not have more than 5 sentences as an introduction for this. You can have 4 sentences even. You need no less than 3, but 4 to 5 is kind of really where you want to be for a solid introduction. Here's some examples. Well, actually, that's for the introduction. Another problem that we had was the summarization in the body paragraph. So we had students who summarized the entire story for your introduction, okay? And then I had another set of students who summarized the story as their body paragraphs, okay? You don't want to do that either. In your body paragraph, this is your opinion, okay? This is where you show your analysis. Imagine your paper as an argument, okay? You have to convince me through words on a piece of paper to believe what you believe, okay? And that may be hard because you're writing a paper over something that I'm telling you to write versus something that you have a lot of feelings towards, but it's one of those things that you just are going to practice on doing. So you've got this opinion about something like, you know, the number 7. And you're trying to convince me to believe that the number 7 supports the theme because. So it's your opinion that you're supporting. Here's an example. I took this from someone's paper. Poe uses symbolism to develop the theme. Okay. For example, he uses the number 7 multiple times. 7 symbolizes darkness and destruction. So that came from her paper. Notice that she started with a topic sentence right here. Okay. Check. Okay. For example, check. She's got a transition word. He uses the number 7 multiple times. Okay. So she's giving me a fact. Okay. So I've got some evidence here. 7 symbolizes darkness and destruction. Check. Okay. Because she looked that up. It's fact. This is where a majority of you who got to this point went wrong, is you stopped there and you gave me another symbol. And that's not what you need to do. You need to go on to the next part. Okay, she wrote, this darkness and destruction that Poe is referring to shows the theme that the wealthy cannot cheat death, because in each of the 7 rooms the wealthy die, the destruction comes to them. So this part right here, she's explaining her evidence. Okay. Now, when you're looking at this, there are some things with the writing that, you know, we could work on. Okay, so don't look at it as, oh, you know, this is the perfect paragraph and do this exactly like this. I'm using hers because she did the assignment correctly in terms of what to put in the paragraph. So please don't go through on your paper and go, oh, this is the perfect thing. Everybody, including myself, can always improve on everything that we do. And so this individual, I'll work with her on improving some other things because she does have the content right, okay? All right, another common mistake is kids did not have a topic sentence, okay? The topic sentence is the first sentence of a body paragraph. So your essay should have been introduction. Okay? And this is 4 to 5 sentences. And this is where you're basically telling me about the topic. And then you have body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2. If you got here, body paragraph 3, and then your conclusion. I only had a couple students get to this part, so we're really going to just be talking about those two, okay? I think you guys got confused and you thought body paragraph 1 was your introduction. The first paragraph of an essay is called an introduction. Okay, you introduce. Body paragraph number 1 is your first point. The introduction is not the same thing as a body paragraph number 1. Okay, there are 2 separate paragraphs. And I think that's where a lot of the confusion came from. Okay, so I'm talking right now about your body paragraph. It's technically your second paragraph in the essay. Okay, so it's going to have a topic sentence. And this is where you tell me what part of the prompt are you addressing. Is it symbolism? Is it characterization? If by some chance you got to tone, is it tone? Okay, these are some of the topic sentences I had in the essays. Poe uses symbolism to develop a theme. Okay, you've got the author, you've got the part of the prompt addressing. What is he doing? He's developing what theme? Check. Okay. Poe uses amazing symbolism to shape the theme. So you've got Poe, symbolism. What is he doing? He's shaping. What is he shaping? The theme. Edgar Allan Poe uses his symbols to illustrate how wealthy people feel they cannot cheat death. That is the theme. Okay, so check. Now, of these 3, there's nothing inherently wrong with the first 2. Those 2 students have the content, okay? And remember, everybody has to start somewhere. So if that's kind of where you are, start there and we can make it better as you progress. But this individual right here is a little bit further along. I don't remember if it was who it was. So he or she gave the author's name, gave me what part of the prompt he's using, used a really strong word here, and then instead of saying just theme, he or she said what the theme was. So this is probably your strongest topic sentence. The only downside to this is if by some chance you use the same thing in the thesis statement, but that's a totally different issue that you want to just look at and make sure you're careful about not repeating your words. Okay. This example from another student is common. I had this over and over again. The symbols used are the ebony clock and the number 7. Okay. And then another student's topic sentence was, the symbols Poe uses are the wall, red, scarlet, 7, and cave. Now that is really good information that these students have, but this would be more of a fact sentence, okay? So you don't want to make this your first sentence. You want to make this your second or your third sentences. Maybe even split this one up a little bit, and then explain how those symbols that you're talking about support the theme. Your first sentence is going to have these keywords in it. Okay. Piece of advice, each paragraph should be basically your opinion. Okay. 80-20, 70-30, so to speak, where you have to have evidence from the text, either summary or direct quotes. Okay. But you should spend most of it explaining how, in your opinion, that textual evidence that you picked out, that one sentence, that one small event in the story, prove your answer. Okay? It may take 2, 3, 4 sentences for you to explain, hey, you know, this number or this color shows this symbolism, supports the theme because, and then tell me how. Okay. Writing, there were a few issues with some writing. Overall, the biggest thing I had to write were fragments. If you have this on your paper, that's what it means, is fragments. You have to have a complete thought, which means you need a subject and a verb. Don't start a sentence with and or but. Okay? Those create fragments. If you have this written on your paper, that means you have to have a topic sentence, or it's wrong. Okay? There's something with your topic sentence that you need to work on. So hopefully that will help you fix your Masque of the Red Death essay. If you're still having problems, please come see me and let me help you. Okay?